Now, I know a lot of you on my channel really aren't huge fans of Roku, and I could see why, right? There's no third-party loading. That's a big reason why you guys love Android-based devices. But Roku's just launched 2 huge updates that make their product maybe just a little bit more competitive with the rest of the streaming devices. And if you're already a big Roku fan, then this is probably a video you're gonna wanna stick around for. Now, there's 2 main areas Roku just released updates to. The first one is a brand new Roku Pro Remote 2, which in my mind blows away the Fire TV remote. But not only that, you have Roku OS 13 rolling out to all TVs and Roku devices coming within the next few weeks. And if you're in the US, you should see this update relatively soon. So let's start with the brand new Roku Pro remote. And no, this isn't it. I unfortunately can't purchase it yet because it's only available in the US, but I'm gonna try to get my hands on it anyways. But I'm gonna put a little picture of one right here up on screen while we talk about some of the brand new features. I think one of the features I'm most excited about is the change from USB micro to USB-C. That's such a small change that I think every company needs to do. USB micro is just way clunkier. They break more often. The ports get damaged. Everything should just be USB-C going forward. Now, another major update is new backlit buttons. Now, thanks to some built-in motion sensors, when you pick up your remote, that feature is automatically going to illuminate. This is gonna make it a lot easier to use the remote in the dark. They've also added a 50% larger battery, meaning there's a lot more time in between charges. And that's one of the things I hate about my Fire TV Pro remote. Like, why do they still have batteries in this? If I'm paying $30, $40 for this, there shouldn't be batteries. Now, if you guys already have the Roku Pro remote, you know they have some of these programmable buttons, a lot like the Fire TV one. Now, these were buttons where you could go on things such as Fox Sports or Sportsnet, and you could add that app to that button. Much like these app shortcut buttons, it would basically act as that, but customizable. Now, I don't know the purpose of this, but Roku actually took away one of those buttons, and now they just have one, and it has a rocket ship. So I don't understand. I guess the whole premise of it is to be speedy, like you're rocket launching into the app, but that just seems kind of like a fail to me. It's just kind of dumb. Like, just put a 1 and a 2 there. I think that's good enough for most people. And the last thing is a brand new integrated guide button. Now, this will bring you directly to your Roku guide that already has the free premium channels through Roku, but not only that, the channels you add through the other subscriptions that you own. So this is gonna make getting to live TV just a little bit easier on your Roku device. Okay, so let's get into Roku 13, the brand new OS that was just released. And as of now, unfortunately, being in Canada, I don't have the update yet, but I do have the brand new features that are included in it, and that's what we're gonna go over. Now, most of these features are things in the background that you're not gonna notice, either bug fixes or performance increases, but there are some tangible features that you genuinely should be pretty excited about. Did I say generally? I meant genuinely. Genuinely, you should be excited about it. Boots? Have I ever sounded more Canadian? So I don't know if you guys have ever seen those TVs that kind of look like picture frames. They have those Samsung TVs that fit directly on the wall where there's like no space at all. And you can buy specialty frames that go around it to make it look like a picture. So that way, you know, when you're not using it, it looks like a piece of artwork, basically. Well, Roku's kind of aiming to do the same thing here. They've added a new backdrop feature where you can go in and select a bunch of different masterpiece artworks, basically like a background, that when you're not using your TV, it will pop up and it will make your TV look like a work of art. So if you have your TV mounted, I guess it'll look a little fancier if you're having guests over and you don't want to just throw some sports on. For me, I'm not that fancy. This isn't really a feature I would use. I actually just prefer the Roku City background, which has a lot of really cool Easter eggs in it that they did add some new updates to we're going to talk about. Now, I think most of us forget to change our picture quality when we're setting up our Roku device or other streaming devices on our TVs. And that goes the same with content. In fact, a lot of streaming devices allow you to change settings based on what content you're watching. For example, if you're watching sports, you might want to optimize your video settings to match the brightness, etc., of that content, where with movies, it's going to be completely different. And that's where Roku OS 13 brought in this brand new feature where it's going to automatically not just match with the TV you're using, but also to the specific content you're using. And this will continue to roll over as you watch different content and also change TV. So extremely useful. Now, one thing I'm curious about is if you're using this with, say, a PS5 and you have it connected to your Roku TV, is it going to automatically change to like a gaming mode? That I have not seen yet, but I'm assuming it doesn't. However, I know it does with some Fire TVs, so it's potentially a feature that they might add in. Now, they've also updated features that help you look for content, and one way they've done that is IMDb rating. And this will start to be shown on different pieces of content while you're scrolling through, maybe trying to find a movie or a TV show to watch. You know, that way you don't have to pull out your phone and look up the reviews for it before you pick a really bad movie. And I know we've all done that before. We start watching a movie, we figure out it's a 3-star, and we finish it and totally regret it. Now, they're also going to be integrating trailers and also save list updates. This means shows and movies that you've added to a save list, when they come out with a new season or it's discounted for you to rent, it's going to automatically notify you. It just makes it a little bit easier to track content you've already watched and be able to watch the newer episodes and newer seasons or stuff that you want to watch. And the last major area of updates we're going to see is through the Roku app. And there's a few new features that integrate into your Roku TV devices. They now have a new navigation bar at the top that has 5 categories. And this is home, search, remote, devices, and accounts, making it a little bit easier to access those sections. They also have a brand new top shows and movies category where you can see what other streamers are watching and get their recommended and the most popular choices available. They've also added search updates, which says they now have a full-size keyboard. And there's also just generally more information available on those searches. And lastly, they have continued to update Roku City, which is their fun interactive background that has a ton of Easter eggs featured inside of it. Now, they're going mobile and they're adding cars that are going to be driving across Roku City. Now, if you care about Roku City, you're going to love this. If you're like, why would I ever care about this? Which is kind of me, then you're just going to be like, whatever, who cares? It's just a car. Or you might be that person that turns your TV into a piece of art for whatever reason. Now, these are obviously welcome changes, but it is kind of regrettable that they haven't made any aesthetic changes to their actual operating system. In fact, it looks pretty much the exact same, which I don't like to see. I think every second or third version, they should definitely make some meaningful changes to how it's laid out. Because at the end of the day, navigation can always be improved, and I know the Roku one can still be improved from where it is now. Now, before we go, I want to tell you about our sponsors, IPVanish. Although Roku devices don't allow VPNs to work on their devices, there are workarounds so you can still get the benefits of a VPN. This can be done by connecting your VPN directly to your router, and it's actually not a crazy hard process. And if you already have services such as Netflix, Prime Video, or any other streaming service, a VPN can really help you get additional content. This is done by changing your geolocation to any other country that IPVanish offers, which is over 100. This means if you're in the US, you can trick Netflix into thinking you're in the UK, giving you United Kingdom's content, which there's a lot of different stuff on there. And that goes the same with Canada, the US, the UK, or any other country. Now, I have a discount right down below in the description for IPVanish, where you can get it for over 70% off with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you decide you don't want it, go ahead and cancel it and get all of your money back. I'm able to run this channel thanks to the generosity of my subscribers. It's you guys that keep this channel alive and allow me to do this for a living. So purchasing through my link gets me a nice little commission and allows me to continue to save people money on streaming. Now, as for your Roku device, this is a welcomed update, but it could have been bigger. I do appreciate Roku that they still support a lot of their devices years after it comes out, and they're not just farming money by coming out with a new device every year. Roku is definitely a strong competitor in the streaming space, and they continue to make streamers' lives easier. And that's what they want. They want less ads with an easier experience. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button right down below. I'll see you in the next one.